Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back! This is the one, the only, the phenomenon, the only addictive substance that you can't get enough of in your ear every day, every other week. Psychs World. We've been gone for 2 weeks and we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, love it. So this is going to be a top 10 video in just a moment, but first I'm going to run over some stuff and we're going to do some news things. That's right. But this is only going to be 5 minutes, not 11, not 10, not 15. This will be 5 minutes, plain and simple. Then we're going to hop over to the top 10 gaming video. Thanks for watching and thank you for listening.
Anybody trying to be an enemy of me is gonna be another enemy of beats. Check it with the energy and the levels of entering. I do it with the energetic centering. Talking about the bitter ascension. Did you really want to...
First things first, man, Loki season 2. I was on the episode 1, jaw hitting the floor when we saw Sylvie. Oh, by the way, just putting it out there. Spoilers for this episode. Big spoilers. I know the show just dropped, but hey, we're far enough along to where you should have seen it by now, especially considering when this episode here of Psychs World Season 5, Episode 1 is going to air. So let's just break it down right quick. First of all, when he saw Sylvie in the elevator and he's just, you know what I'm saying, he had a moment of relief, like finally I saw her, she's okay, I can be calm again. And then the whole thing with the time slipping and the TVA, that's amazing. And then them revealing that the TVA has its own future, present, and past. I loved that. Man, there are so many things that culminated in just a great episode. And then I'm staring at it though, and my only gripe with this is the same gripe I have with the MCU. Why is it not a movie? I don't understand, because you make all this bullshit on screen, you put bullshit in movies, you know, like Thor Love and Thunder, then you make something amazing like Loki or Falcon and Winter Soldier or something along those lines. You know, what was the other shows? WandaVision, and then there was She-Hulk. That was terrible. She-Hulk was the worst show. Moon Knight was great. Moon Knight was phenomenal. But at the end of the day, everything in this universe boils down to the same simplistic, basic, stupid formula. Like Miss Marvel was not a good show. That was the worst of the worst. And She-Hulk was the absolute worst thing that Marvel has ever put out. We know that. We can agree on that. Okay, and after this, next, you guys, we're going to run through about 2 weeks of news. So this may run like maybe 7 minutes, really, maybe 8 minutes, but it won't be 15. That I promise you. You're already looking at the time slot, and the only reason it's long is because of the top 10 gaming video. So let's move on. But before we do, just finish praising Loki Season 2. That was just a phenomenal cap off, the reveal of Kang and everything. And then they need to talk to the judges. They need to talk to the judges, council, or whatever the fuck they were called. It was just, it was beautiful. It was the cherry on the sundae. I don't know. Listen, let's move into the news now.
This is gonna be the news.
Yeah, it's gonna be all types of news, you know, wrestling news. It's gonna be news, world news. I think we know what everybody's talking about in the news. It's either the Smiths or Mr. and Mrs. Smith or Israel. Either way, none of you know what the fuck you're talking about. Let's move past those things and get into all forms of other news, if you will. Okay.
Spider-Man 2.
Yes, it came out. As I'm recording this, is today the 20th? Yes, today is the 20th, and it came out. It dropped. It released. It's out. All right, and this is where we're recording the episode, so we may not have the news for the week up to Wednesday, but that's okay. We'll update you guys on the next episode, and every episode will drop Friday, as you know, and we'll keep on doing the damn thing. So, in wrestling news, CM Punk ain't going nowhere. They're talking about Impact. I don't think that's a good idea because it would lessen his presence, but he could really rock the foundation of that. My thing is, Impact works with AEW. AEW, who clearly works with WWE, who works with New Japan, who works with AEW. They all work. They work. Do you understand? Does anybody get what I'm saying? Everything is a fucking work. So who cares who's going where? CM Punk is going to end up right back in AEW or WWE. Stop trying to play yourself over something so simple. I mean, really, where is the man going to go if he doesn't go to one of those places? New Japan. He could totally go to New Japan and break his neck. But, you know, those would be some good matches. Him versus Will Ospreay, maybe. I don't know. Whoever the fuck you guys like in Japan right now. And once again, updating on Ric Flair wanting to have another retirement match. He still does. Fuck him. Now, Sting has just announced yesterday, I believe it was, on AEW Dynamite, he announced his retirement match is going to be at Full Gear in 2024. Or Full something, whatever the fuck they do at AEW pay-per-views or whatever they name them. I'm not really sure. I'm not 100% sure because most of it is just ridiculous now, as is the game. Let's see. Carlito returned. Jade Cargill went to WWE. Undertaker was on NXT. So was John Cena. John Cena's talking about his retirement. And there's nothing else to mention there. They put the belt back on Pockets. Because why? I'm going to stop calling them Pockets and call them like overalls or something. I'm going to call them soft jeans. Soft Jeans got the belt back, the Intercontinental, International, Super Duper Heavyweight Title Championship belt. He got it back from Phoenix, who got it from Moxley, who he wasn't supposed to win it from in the first place. I don't fucking know. Ask Tony Khan, because he's not paying me. And as you know, every week on the show, we've been doing, I know it's been 2 weeks, but every week on the show, we've been doing hip-hop news. We're not doing it anymore. I'm sorry. I don't understand what the fuck you people think is hip-hop, you children. And for those of you who are not children, you need to grow the fuck up. None of that Lucci this, Young that, YNBF, TH, TJ Maxx, falafel, awful, knotted, patty wagon, tallywagger. None of these niggas, none of these bitches are worth a fuck. They're not hip hop. And I don't understand how you could possibly listen to Nas, one of the best MCs on the planet of all time. Okay. And then go and listen to that bullshit that you listen to and act like they're on the same level. What? They may make the same amount of money, but that doesn't mean anything. That has nothing to do with hip hop. So I'm done with the hip hop news. Until you guys get your heads out of your asses about what hip-hop really is. Okay, I'll talk about LL Cool J and no, not Eminem. Somebody said something about Eminem the other day to me, specifically. Oh, Eminem's one of the best, like top 5, right? No, fuck no, not even top 10. I'm sorry. So we're moving on to the weather. It's terrible. I don't know if this is fallout from some hurricane or something. We know the weather is changing. It's getting colder out there, and with Halloween coming up next week, you know, you guys, you really gotta bundle up. You gotta be ready. You gotta be prepared. Don't go out there and get fucking hay fever from just breathing in the fumes that they put into the air every day and night. Chemtrails. This shit is real. I'm trying to tell you, your so-called, you can call them whatever you want. Government, politicians, fucking doctors, big pharma, Halliburton, they all work together, okay? Anyway, they want to poison you. They want to poison your air. So what I'm telling you is when you go out there, be healthy. Be healthy so you ain't got to worry about something on top of something else. The poison that they give you on top of whatever underlying condition you already had, or sickness you already had, or you felt lightheaded, you had a headache, whatever it may be. The weather is bad, it's getting cold, and if you get sick, stop blaming it on the cold. Stop blaming it on the weather that our ancestors and all these other people for billions and billions of years sat in, all right? Stop it. Stop it. You're not sick because it's cold. You're sick because you nasty, because you didn't take care of yourself, because you're unhealthy. Anyway, moving on. Point blank, the weather is nasty, we know that. What we need to get clear right now is what we're going to replace the hip-hop news with. I don't know. You guys write in. You know, we have an address. That's all you need to write in and mail us. Literally just an address. You don't need a PO box number, none of that shit. Just an address, okay? And then you can text us, you can message us, you can hit us on Messenger. You can contact us directly at Black Past Productions. You can contact Candace directly. You can contact Brandon, and now since John is coming back, you can contact John directly and ask us questions about all the various ridiculousness that I put out on the internet and YouTube and SoundCloud and so on and so forth, Facebook, whatever it may be, however you may have it, and so on and so forth. And for the sort of people who like those kind of things, those are the kind of things that those sort of people like. Let us know what we should replace the almighty hip hop news with, okay? I gotta know. I gotta know. Let me know. Tell me. I wanna see. Anyway, moving on. I know this news segment, the first half of the video and the show ran a little longer than 5 minutes, but fuck you, fuck y'all, love what I do. Fuck you, part 4, part 3, part 2, and part 1. I'm putting the series up on YouTube. I'm gonna make that playlist as a catalog. Anyway, we're gonna end this part and skip over to the second half. It's not a top 10 video, as I said, all right? But we're gonna shift into the next part of this topic, if you will. Black River EP is out now. The Ash Part 2 EP is coming out the 31st, of course, because, you know, next week is Halloween. Once again,
Happy Halloween!
my niggas.
It's the first time of today. Today. To dream, believe. You are the strength, you're all I need.
This is the season premiere, of course, and now we're right back to the next part of the video. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this. And I know it was supposed to be a top 10 list, but it ended up being top 15. So we'll start at the bottom, we'll go from there, and then at the end we'll start with the honorable mentions, or we'll end with the honorable mentions. Sorry about that. Now, let's begin. Top 15 favorite games, and these are just my top 15 favorite video games. So we'll get right to it and we'll just skip to the loo, my darling. Fuck you. Here we go. Up first is Banjo-Kazooie. I mean, who doesn't love Banjo-Kazooie? Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie. Awesome. Now, the nuts and bolts nonsense that it ended up becoming after the purchase by Xbox or Microsoft, that was rather unfortunate. But the way they took it upon themselves to integrate the first game and the second game into each other, where you can go back and forth, you get eggs on the first game or something like that, and it unlocks secrets on the second game. That's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. Very, very few times do you see a studio or a gaming studio or any developer do something like that, especially in these older games. Banjo-Kazooie really shaped a whole generation of platformers. It's a great game. It's beyond a great game, you know. It's not the best game in the world, but it is one of my favorites, and it is number 15 on this list. So moving on from here. Number 14, Diddy Kong Racing. Holy shit, if you don't know about this game, it's something that you need to go and pick up. You need to try to find a Nintendo 64, get your hands on it. Diddy Kong Racing! It's just amazing, you know what I'm saying? It was like Mario Kart, basically. But it was better. It was so much better. I don't even know how to describe this to you. You had hovercrafts and things and such. And there was just, it had substance to it. Diddy Kong Racing was the most unique thing at the time when it came to racing games. We're not talking graphics. We're not talking mechanics. We're talking about the pure level of joy you're going to have playing the game. And that's it. So we'll move on from that one to number 13, Pokemon Stadium. Holy fuck. If you didn't have fun playing Pokemon Stadium with yourself or with friends, it doesn't matter, family members, whoever, Jesus Christ, what did y'all do? You're boring. You're just boring. Look, here's the bottom line. If you wanted a turn-based game that was good for battling and really getting you fucked over and ending friendships, something better than a simple fighting game, then this was it. Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2. They just set the stage for what would be rivalries in between gamers and friends who were gamers for years to come. It was truly something unique, you know? Now, it goes without saying that Pokemon Stadium really set the pace for all of that stuff. There were games like that before Pokemon Stadium, but as far as what was the most competitive, it came down to Pokemon Stadium at a certain point in time. Until later on, that is. I would normally say this is my favorite game of all time, but it's not gonna, I'm not gonna put it there on this list. This is number 12. Mischief Makers, Nintendo 64. If you didn't have this game, I'm sorry. It is a very rare find. You know, like Evangeline. I think that's how you say that. Anyway, it's just Mischief Makers is basically Mega Man, right? With this girl named Marina. She's the main robot character or whatever. And the simplicity of this game is the thing that makes it complicated, is the thing that made it challenging. It's crazy. Look, let's just cut to the chase. Google Mischief Makers. I mean, you see here in the video what it is. It's something awesome. So, you know, the dash and the, you know, the way she picks stuff up. The boss levels were really top tier at the point in time. So let's move on to the next one. Super Mario 3. Now, this was on the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, whatever. Super Mario 3 is the Super Mario of Super Mario games. If you've never played it, I'm sorry, you're not a true gamer. Super Mario 3 is an essential. It is. Platformers are essential pertaining to being a real gamer who challenges themselves. There are, when it comes to this, being a real gamer and shit, you know, you have to play the old stuff. That's just, it is what it is. It's like hip hop. You want to be a real MC, you got to listen to the old shit. All right. So you got to play the old stuff. You've got to play through older games to understand, to truly appreciate what you've got now, but not just to appreciate, to challenge yourself. Because when you have everything taken away from you, no special packs, no upgrades, no scopes, nothing, no add-ons, none of that. You've just got you and the game. And if you lose, you die 3 times. It's over, you know? That is a real game. Number 10 on the list, Super Mario Smash Brothers. Oh man, this is the game. This is the game, right? I mean, you see the footage. This is the game that went on to spawn everything you know and love today. I mean, honestly, I don't think it got any better than when it was on the GameCube, you know, but it started on the Nintendo 64 and it was something fucking phenomenal. Let me say that again. Phenomenal. I'm not quite sure who your favorite character was on Super Mario Smash Brothers, but mine was always Fox. And Link can really get it done. Kirby was good. Kirby was awesome. The TV show Kirby was great. We'll move on from that now. Number 9 on the list is going to be 2K23 WWE. For those of you who don't know, that's a newer game. It came out March of this year, and it is absolutely fucking phenomenal. Probably one of the most phenomenal wrestling games, and not the only one I'm going to mention on this list, ever made. It is something that needs to be seen, felt, played, to be witnessed, to be held, even if you don't like wrestling, you don't care about it, you think it's silly, whatever. Maybe you're right. But the point is, the fact of the matter is, it's a great game, and you really, really need to see what it can do. I mean, Jesus Christ, there's nothing better than jumping from the top of a ladder that's set up on the inside of the ring, diving to the outside of the ring, onto an opponent who's laid across a ladder that's laid on the edge, the apron of said ring, and the barricade on the outside of the ring, and going through said opponent who goes through said ladder, thereby breaking. It is just something phenomenal. Number 8 on the list, yell at the top of your lungs for Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Man, when they came out with this shit, I thought, all right, another 2D sort of side scroller looking thing. And then they put all of the CGI, 3D, whatever you want to call it. They put all of the graphic work into this, and the mechanics of the game are phenomenal. It is buggy, but it's a fighting game. You know what I mean? The bugs are not bugs. It's supposed to be, you're getting stuck here and stuck there and thrown over here. You got to know what you're doing. You have to be precise, as real gamers are, and Dragon Ball FighterZ, let's face it, is the best Dragon Ball game ever made. There is no adventure Dragon Ball game that's good. That new Kakarot shit, everybody says they hate it. I haven't even played that, and I'm sure it's trash.
And at number 7,
Lucky number 7 is Left 4 Dead. Man, this game it wasn't even a challenge unless you put it on expert. But that in itself was a challenge. Left 4 Dead is something that Call of Duty Zombies will never be able to touch. A first-person shooter, you and 3 other teammates. It's 4 of y'all in total, and it's just, dare I say the first one's better than the second one, but I do love the second one. I have them both. And Left 4 Dead it gave us memories, man. Those online chat rooms where this was the game that we went to, and we would hop in we'd hop in there and we'd have a ball. It was like going someplace without going someplace. That's not how it feels now to play live. But Left 4 Dead was the co-op, the prime, premium, top tier co-op gaming experience for real gamers and online gamers, just gamers in general back in the day. Number 6 on the list is Jak and Daxter. Get your kicks with number 6. This shit is just such a great trilogy, great game. We already made a video about it. We put it out on the other channel, and we put it out on the main channel. So check it out. It's part of Psychs World. All episodes you can catch streaming now on, well, not all episodes, but you can catch a few episodes from this season, from episode 4 to 9 on season 4 on SoundCloud. You can catch all seasons and all episodes on YouTube, of course. But Jak and Daxter is just, seriously, that's top tier storytelling. And before there was a multiverse for you people to speak of, or before you fucked up the Max Payne movie with your voting and your petitions, this was storytelling. This is what it was supposed to be, and it couldn't be beat. The graphics couldn't be beat. The experience could not be beat. Number 5 on the list,
Ultimate Spider-Man.
yes, it's just a good game. It's a good fucking game, right? And it holds up today, and the graphics are crazy, and it's probably the best Venom I've ever seen on any screen anywhere. Seriously, it's great. And the web swinging is intense, and the story mode picks up. I love the transitions in Ultimate Spider-Man. They're great. It's comic book stuff. It's Marvel stuff, as it should be, and everything just comes together perfectly in that game. And then you get to play as Venom, and you can swallow people, like literally pull them into your body and eat them whole. It's crazy. Number 4 on the list is going to be another wrestling game, SmackDown vs. Raw 2006. Now, the first SmackDown vs. Raw came a year before this, and it was at one time the best of the series. But then when 2006 came along and stayed around for a few years, all the other SVRs came out, and people realized that 2006 is really going to be the epitome of this thing because of just the time period and the way it felt. We were comparing everything we saw on screen to what we saw in the game. Not only that, WWE took it upon themselves to integrate storylines between real life and the game in real life, so vice versa. And we were there for it. It was phenomenal. The Undertaker feud with Chris Benoit, and this is back before Undertaker had the spandex going. We all remember that run. That was probably his best run. All right, number 3 on the list is a PlayStation childhood favorite of mine, Mega Man X4, which I probably should have put at number 4, looking back at this now, but who cares? I've done it. Mega Man X4 has excellent storytelling. The gameplay is simplistic. It goes by fast. Every level is short. Every upgrade, every weapon you get is pretty damn cool. You get different colored Mega Man. You get Zero, you can play as Zero. And then they made actual cutscenes, like they animated cartoons and anime for this game. And then you can, on the newer version, you know, everything upgraded, you can play Mega Man X4, 3, 2, and 1, and you can switch back and forth between them and the original Rockman that the game was, that it came out as in a different country. So, you know, it's Mega Man X4, simplistic gameplay. It's for real gamers. If you ain't ready for if you're not ready for a real game, if you are not prepared for something that's going to challenge you, don't play Mega Man X4. Number 2 on the list, I talk about it all the time, Bully. That's right, Bully. That's right, Bullworth Academy. The days. It reminds you so much of real life when you play it. It's like growing up in that small town, or if you didn't grow up in a small town, you went to some small town, stayed there for a while, and everything that you got into reminds you of what you see on this game. You know, riding a bike from point A to B, going down back alleys and back roads, getting into squabbles here, you know, and in Bullworth Academy, the town of Bullworth, you know, there's a beach, and it's like around lake water and everything. It's just kind of isolated. It's like a perpetual non-existing world there. But Bully really reaches the peak. Jimmy Hopkins and his whole storyline, it's just great. His mother sucks, and the school he's at sucks. The people he's around suck, and he makes the best of it. He makes a go at it, doesn't he? Number 1. Sleeping Dogs. Probably, yes, it absolutely is my favorite game of all time. Just in case you guys were trying to figure out, you were like, oh, it's these other, nope, it's Sleeping Dogs. And Sleeping Dogs is just something that's so, I don't know why we have Grand Theft Auto. I don't know why they haven't revisited this. I don't know what Square Enix is doing. I don't know what the fuck their problem is. I don't know who in their right goddamn mind would try to halt or put a red light on a new project for Sleeping Dogs. The story didn't even have to be good. You just need to have that same goddamn gameplay and make it look 10 times better with the graphics and mechanics. That's it. That's all you needed for Sleeping Dogs. Wei Shin is the greatest martial artist of all time. He's the greatest fighter on the planet. Don't tell me he's not. I watched this man get his fucking knee drilled in with a drill. It was terrible. And I don't even know if that shit was on. I can't remember. But the point being, Sleeping Dogs is my favorite. And now we're going to go over
Honorable mentions.
every James Bond game after GoldenEye, including GoldenEye and GoldenEye Reloaded. Sly Cooper. Come on now. Yeah, you know, time travel and then his legacy and Thief and just great. And Blinks, the time bandit or whatever the fuck he was called. He can control time, quite literally. He can pause it, freeze it, rewind it, and that's what the whole game is about. Remind you kind of Time Splitters, I think. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Thanks for watching. This has been Psychs World, Season 5, Episode 1, and we are out.
Claim to be that one. My bad, I could be high strung, but just wait for the fat pun. You better get back. Run. I came to rock you out the pocket like I'm poison. Welcome to a place where it's hard to breathe. It's always November. Here you will find no